As brand owner and designer of Starfish Mrkt and master's candidate at Parsons School of Design, Zarah Spencer is paving her own way in the fashion industry. She stresses the importance of authenticity, research, and showing up organically in all spaces you occupy. Continue watching for my full conversation with Zarah. I was first introduced to you both through Starfish Mrkt and your content. Well, I don't know if you consider yourself like a content creator or just a girl on TikTok, but
I'm
it
just a
feels,
girl on
yeah, I
TikTok.
was gonna say it feels like just I'm a cool girl who has a TikTok page, but
Yeah, I feel like I'm always like approached um by women that are kind of also like kickstarting really cool things. And
Mhm.
my motto is like, it takes one to know one. So it's like, okay,
Yeah, for
if you
sure.
think I'm cool, you're probably cool. So I'm down.
I like that. I want to get started with you going to school because, as we said, you are right now. If you guys don't know, she is attending Parsons. She's a master's candidate. Yeah, it's not too, don't sleep on her. But you did go to Howard undergrad, and I was curious, was your program undergrad anything related to fashion or business, or were you on a different pathway?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I studied, well, my degree is in health science. I have a
Oh,
bachelor's in
wow.
health science. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And it was so funny because even post grad, before I started grad school,
Hmm.
when I would say like, "Oh yeah, I went to Howard," people are like, "Oh, what did you study?" And I'm like, "Health science," and they'd be like, "Huh?" Like it's so interesting. But I think it speaks to just kind of how my brain works.
Yeah.
I've never been interested in just one thing. Um, but I think also like COVID played a big role in the trajectory of my life
Yeah.
post grad. I graduated right when COVID started.
Okay.
So originally my plan was I wanted to be a physical therapist
Okay.
um, for like the Lakers or somebody or like the
Nice.
NFL.
Okay.
I grew up in a sports family,
Okay.
mostly basketball, but I like to be around sports. I grew up playing sports. And so that was kind of like what I went into college, you know,
With that goal in mind.
with that goal. And I also think that was just kind of influenced by like, people tell you when you go to college, like, oh, you need to pick something that you're going to make some money in.
Yeah.
And so I was just trying to find something that still, I love science. It's very easy
Mhm.
to me. It's like, I don't know, speaking English.
Yeah. It's second nature.
It's literally second nature. I don't know why, but it is. Um, And so I was just like, okay. And then I played sports in high school. And like I said, just constantly around sports. So I just tried to pick the thing that I was like, what would
Any
be,
interest for
yeah,
you?
interesting, but still kind of like easy and feel natural. And that's what I thought it was going to be. But the plan was always somehow to use that as a segue to get into fashion. I was fully
Mhm.
convinced that I was gonna, it's so funny even saying this out loud, but true story. I was fully convinced that I was gonna graduate from Howard. I was gonna go to USC
Okay.
specifically, which is in California, and I was gonna get a physical therapy job with the Lakers. And while I was a physical therapist for the Lakers, I was gonna be personal shopping for the athletes on the side, and then and then I was gonna use the relationships that I developed with
Right. Like,
to open my own boutique. That was
I
always
mean,
my yeah.
that
That
could
was
have happened though.
kind of in so
Like
many
that,
ways.
that wasn't a reach. That could have
Yeah,
happened.
it's I don't know. It's interesting how like your brain knows stuff without really knowing.
Yeah.
Um, but I did end up doing all of those things, just like
In a
different
different
points. Yeah,
way, but
the
yeah.
difference. I did like personal shopping and styling for athletes for a little bit.
Okay, that's dope.
I did like work in the street luxury streetwear
Okay.
capacity for a good little bit of time. So I did all of the things that I
Yeah. It's
was gonna
just
do, just in just totally different ways than I
mhm.
expected and anticipated. Yeah, and now I'm here.
Which I think is also a testament to life. Like they say you make the plan, but you might not know exactly how it's going to go. So you just having an idea from an early age, knowing like, okay, I want these things out of life, and then you kind of just allow life to bring them your way. So
Yeah,
that's
I
really
do
dope.
wish that I would have had more because I also come from a very like art centered
Hmm.
family.
Hmm.
Supporting. Black artist was just something that I like grew up
Do to
learning.
do.
That's what you're supposed to do. And my grandmother was like an avid art collector.
Hmm.
So that was also a part of my life. But like, I don't think I ever viewed it as like career path,
Right.
like, so I don't know. I do wish that I would have went into Howard with um, more of a mind that I could have done both simultaneously because I
Hmm.
think that I would have like,
Like that being front of mind.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that would have like, I don't know, maybe like a minor in something art related
Hmm.
too, fashion related. Um, but you figure it out.
Yeah.
However you
And
do
things
it.
come when they're supposed to. I think
Yeah,
COVID for a lot of people came at such a weird point in life because either you're already in school and you're in the middle of school and you're like, I'm trying
what's
to
going on?
finish this, like what's happening? Or like you're saying, you just graduated and it's like, okay, I was supposed to be starting life. Now, what is going on? And it kind of just changed the trajectory for a lot of people. Like your story is not uncommon. I know so many people where it's like, oh, I went for this thing, I ended up doing this.
Yeah,
It's literally because like COVID happened, we were at home, and it's just like, what do you actually want? Like,
you actually
what
want
do
like
you for
now that
real
you
want?
time to like sit and think about like what do you actually want to do. I
Yeah.
also think that like physical therapy school starts in the summer,
Okay.
so that was a really big factor because it was just like, okay, well, in theory, like I would be needing to apply and like
Be
needing
doing
to
all of this now.
now, right, and I'm not really feeling that on my spirit. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
it did happen at a crazy time, but and it was a hard time, but I feel like it was a blessing in so many ways because I
Yeah.
don't,
And it
yeah,
brought like that resilience too. Like you not knowing you would ultimately become a business owner and be doing these things and be so cool. And it's like those certain experiences where you're not really prepared for them. You go through those seasons and you don't really know why at the time, but then later on it'll make sense. And it's like, oh, I
I'm
needed a little couple more hairs on my chest.
literally running a business. I don't know, like
Mhm.
it's not that it's hard. It's just like you don't really ever know. You know what I mean? You never
Yeah.
really know. But tomorrow brings, and I was telling my friend, I'm like, when I was in college, I had like crippling anxiety. Like I would have
Really?
like really bad panic attacks and stuff. Um, and I could go into that real deep into that, but essentially anxiety is really linked to like a need for control, you
Yeah.
know? And I had to work through that for a really long time. And then like looking back on it, like right when I had kind of like, I don't want to say fully healed, but when I arrived
Mhm.
at a place where I knew how to kind of like handle things
Yeah,
without
like
full control is
channel that feeling
that's when
and
Starfish happened. Like,
mhm,
and I was saying like, I don't really know if this could even be a thing if that wasn't something that I had to like
work through.
work through. Like
Mhm.
I wouldn't have had the capacity because
Yeah.
it's ever flowing, ever changing. Like there's no matter how much you plan, no matter how much like, you think one thing's gonna go one way, it's just not, that's just not what business is.
No.
It's just,
You're in control of everything and you cannot put that weight on yourself. Like
you can't because
it's
then
too stressful.
it affects, if there's one piece of the puzzle that's missing and you're stuck on finding this one
That
piece,
one little piece.
then just like derail the whole
Yes.
thing. So
The
you have
puzzle is basically done.
like you have to
We'll
start
come back to that.
with it, right. You have to be like, okay, well, these are the pieces that I do have, and so this is what I could do with what I have right
This
now.
is the puzzle I can make. We'll come back a couple of days
We'll come
later.
back. The creative dissonance of it all, I feel like something that I've become really, really good at. And I also think that's why, like, not to toot my own horn, but toot. I think I make really
Toot toot.
I think I make really cool shit because I
No,
have
you
learned
do.
to um spend more time in the creative dissonance of it all. Like I've learned to have an idea and execute
Mhm.
and it kind of fall right here when I thought it was going to be right here
Yeah.
and learn to use this and create something. And that I feel like every single thing that I've ever put out that I've ever made is always because I'm gotten real comfortable in this space
Hmm.
of what I wanted
And
versus what
then
it is. And like
mhm.
trying to marry the two in a way that's like, and you come up with something that's just like, damn, this is better than what I wanted originally. But
Yeah.
it that takes practice, especially if you are super type A. I don't know if I would consider myself type A. I'm
Yeah, because I
like,
think you can be that type of way, but not necessarily be a type A person.
yeah.
But I think if you're type A, you probably struggle not being that way.
I think I'm like type C. I'm like type C.
Yeah,
I'm like type C because it's like there are certain things and I'm like, no, it has to be like this. And then there's
yeah.
other things that is just like, let's just see. Like, you know,
Just
let's
chill
just
out.
see. Yeah. So I think I'm definitely a good mix between the two.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's at my downfall, but
Mhm.
I'm still figuring out. I'm still trying to navigate that.
I think that's where your designs, if we'll come to forward with the Starfish Market part of the conversation. The skirt is probably one of your more recognizable items just because it's the juxtaposition of this super feminine silhouette, but it's in a print, both the camo and then the other design. Or it's in a color way and a print that you don't really see a lot of women's clothing be in. And then the women who wear the item embrace that. Like it's not an item where the consumer gets it and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna wear like a basic t-shirt and let the skirt do its thing. It's like, no, 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 I'm gonna freak this. And everyone who's worn it, I'm just like, oh, like you're so cool. Like you're taking it to its own space and its own moment that I think that is just kind of like a branch of how you've kind of led the business because if you were like, oh yeah, this is just the skirt and like you showed it off in like a very mundane way, people probably would just follow suit. But you showing like, no, it's okay, like pair it with this, do it like
Yeah.
that, different body types, all of those things, I think have really helped people feel even more comfortable to be like, okay, I'm gonna go and do
Yeah.
whatever I want and make this work.
It's been cool. I think like I mean, like when you're a creative, you don't really know, how things land or how they are received.
Yeah.
Um, but I think if I spent time trying to figure that out, I
Mhm.
wouldn't be where I'm at.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Um, so I have like built a lot of like trust within myself and just accept that I make that I'm like, this is I know it's for someone. Like
Yeah.
it's exactly what you said. It's like it's for the girl that I don't know. She wants to have um some creative say so in like
Yeah.
what the outcome of what she's wearing looks like. Um in a different angle and a different approach. And I don't know. But I do wonder, I'm like, does this translate? Because I feel like a lot of my stuff is exactly how you described it.
Hmm.
I kind of grew up like as a tomboy,
Hmm.
but still very girly. Like I
Yeah.
wear like my brother's clothes and I still want to
Yeah.
put makeup and still paint my
Yeah.
pink. Like I'm like the fine line between the two. And I just feel like it was a space that like there weren't the brands weren't
Yeah.
occupying. I don't think
Hmm.
that they are. And so yeah, but I wasn't able to really define that until I was just starting to do what I was doing. Like I really was
Yeah. You just
making sure.
creating and it's
Yeah,
forming its own
yeah,
identity.
yeah. So it's cool. I'm glad that it lands because I'm
No, it
always
does.
like
No, it lands. It
people
does.
get it, like I don't know, but it's good to hear that.
Yeah. And I think it lands without trying to tell us like
Yeah, yeah,
overselling who the Starfish Market girl is. Like, okay.
yeah. Yeah, I worked for a designer who's actually like the coolest person ever to me
He's so
personally.
cool.
I don't have you ever heard of Joe Fresh Goods?
No, I don't think so.
He's based in Chicago.
I'll look him up.
He's pretty much trying to kind of honestly like change the trajectory of New Balance. We don't wear New Balance in Chicago.
Okay.
Um,
That's
and
definitely a
the East Coast thing.
yeah.
But he collabed with them once and it kind of just, I don't know, had a life of its own. So new life to New Balance.
Okay.
Um, and he has a really small team. So when I was working there, I feel like that was one of my biggest takeaways is that like he's super intentional about the details and the story of things, but he always leaves it up to the consumer
It's
take
space
what
for
they
them
take.
to,
Yeah, like
yeah.
it's not like I have to, well, this is what it is and this is what it means. And I have to tell you, it's always like left up to the person.
Like art.
It's
You
art.
can
It's
interpret
art.
it.
It's art. It can still be created with meaning and intention, and that should be communicated. But like the cool thing about art is that somebody might take something from it that you didn't never intended,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
for to give them, and it just makes it cool. So I think that's kind of my approach with my brand too. Like I want you to get it. I want it to land, but I don't want to be the person to dictate like
Who can do what
who
and
can do what and how it's supposed to be worn, and like and that it actually makes it a little harder for me, honestly, in the
Mhm.
like for socials and stuff, because it's that's not how I shop. Like I don't
Mhm.
really. I'm not shopping and I see how it's styled and I'm gonna
Gotcha.
buy that whole thing, but that is a lot of consumers. So
Yeah, because some people do need like
exactly.
to be shown how it can be done.
Yeah.
I also think you, and I wanted to get into this as we continue, but I feel like this is the perfect time to talk about it. Right now, founder-led content it's almost the default. Like if you have a business of any kind, you could be doing a tax business. They tell you to go
Okay.
in the front of the camera. And so I feel like you having a situation where on the business side of things, it's not necessarily you're in the front, like you're not the face of anything. But if you are aware of your personal page, it's like, yeah, that's mine. I actually wear my stuff and my friends wear it, and it has its own space in our lives. So I think it's a very authentic approach. I don't know if that was strategic or organic, but
Thank you for saying that
yeah,
because
as you are, if you like, let's be real, anybody on social media, if you tap one page, you go to another one, then you go to another one,
right.
and you can see where everyone has brought it into their own space and they have their own style and all these different things, but it fits, and none of you look alike, and none of the models look alike, and the approach to the clothing is so different that any girl who goes to the page or any guy who goes to the page is like, I like that bomber, I'm gonna wear it. I like that skirt, I like this shirt, like, and I think that's cool too, is it's not necessarily being told that it's for women or for men or a certain type of person. So
You're
anybody
very
can just
observant.
be.
Yes, that's crazy. Oh, you're like,
I
yes.
am very observant. I am very observant. And so it's like anybody can just like the stuff, and it's just,
Exactly.
And
I
I think
mean,
that is dope. And I feel like when you see stuff like that, it can only be because of who is creating it and who's behind it. And even when you see like bigger brands, like a topicals, for instance, there's such a cultural pull with
mhm,
topicals because
mhm,
that's what Alameda wanted. And you can
mhm.
tell whoever's on the team, everybody black.
Exactly.
That's what it's going to be. And so I think when the founder is that involved, or the brand owner or the designer is that involved, even if you're not spoon feeding it to us, it's going to come across if you pay like a little bit of attention.
Well,
So
that's good. I'm
it's
glad
it's really it's
that's
dope,
that easy
honestly.
to gather. I
Yeah.
also feel like no shade, no tea, but I'm an intellectual girl. So like
No, it shows.
never in a world artistically, intellectually do I feel the need to like I don't know. I just feel like we're living in an era where like the brains are getting lazy. People's brains are turning into mush. And I understand that like for business sake it can be helpful to like spoon feed people everything and like I was talking to my friends and they're like, you should like make more content like being on set. And I'm like, I'm not opposed to that, but also
Mhm.
like any brand that I want to find out who's the designer, who's the owner, I do my research and I go figure that out.
Yeah. I feel like there's
It's not about me. This is not like
yeah.
I have a personal page. Like
Yeah.
I don't need to be all over my brand's page.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
want
also
people
like
to,
your personal preference
yeah,
too, because some people they would rather be like, look at me.
1,000%. And I
I
was just
have
gonna
this thing. I'm so cool. Give me
there's
attention.
there's something going on that I've observed where like having a brand and a business is cool for the sake of saying that you do, and you can tell which brands are kind of like ego led.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a great,
it's
yeah,
like I want to have a brand in a business, and I want to be in all the photo shoots, and I want to make all the content, and it's because I want you to see me. I want you to look at me and
yeah,
think I'm cool because I have this brand, I have this business. And no shade, if that's what you're into, then that's what you're
right.
into. But I think that for me, I am trying to create something that outlives me, and
Hmm.
so if it's always connected to me when something happens to me, when I go away, when I if I'm
Hmm.
sick, and this and the content that we're making doesn't hit as
Hit the
hard because I'm
same.
not in it, then that is not carrying no, it's
Yeah,
not as good as I thought that it was. If I
yeah.
have to
If you have to be involved at every
I have to
point.
be involved with, I have to be the face of it at every single
Yeah,
point. Like I'm not trying to be like a ghost by any means. I think I'm very vocal about my brand and
yeah.
my business, and my love for fashion, art, everything, all those things. But I don't think I need to be like a Kim Kardashian or
Yeah, I
like
was gonna say that. I think
a Jada
also
Waiter.
the sector that you're in fashion allows for you not to be the face.
Yeah.
I think, example, if you have a Skims-esque brand, a lot of that consumer wants someone to literally put the clothes on in their house so they can buy into your body, your hair, your makeup, your aesthetic, your persona on top of your lifestyle. You're getting like there's no mistake. Kim doesn't show her outfits in a set. She's in her home. She's in her personal home in her closet for a reason. Because look, this is what the Skims girl looks
Looks
like.
like this is
This
what her
is
life
what
looks like.
she does, and this is the car she drives. So all of those things, it's marketing is psychology. So
1000%.
you have to, if you as a consumer don't understand that, and you're just looking like, oh, I don't know why I'm so intrigued to buy this T-shirt for $100. Well,
Yeah.
it's because she has a Birkin on, and
Right.
you're seeing
The
a little bit more than
brand
the
is on a
T-shirt.
parallel. Exactly.
And so I think if you have a brand like that where the buy-in and why you need to sell yourself better than someone else is just truly like this life in the Skims girl, the Skims world for a better like I can't find another brand to think of, but like any type of brand like that where it's like okay, it's overly founder
Hmm.
led, it's almost like okay, there's no other selling point. So yeah, we
There's
have
no
to keep
other
selling
selling point.
you.
It's also, to me,
Hmm.
my personal opinion.
Yeah. People
I
can have opinions, guys, by the way.
okay.
Watching.
I have a lot of hot takes. Um,
Same.
to me,
Finding it.
I'm finding. I don't want to say anything crazy. To me, it almost gives like you're so egotistical and you need validation so deeply that
Mhm.
you want to make many use.
Okay.
I personally, I'm not trying to sell anything for anyone to say, this is how Zarah wore it, and so this is how it must be worn. I'm not interested in that at all, actually.
Hmm.
One of my life goals is for people to be like, dang, that girl gets up and she does whatever the fuck she wants to do. And so
Hmm.
I want to go and do what I want to do. Not I want to go and do what she's doing. But I think for me, that's what
It's more of
influence
an
is about.
inspirational,
Yeah.
aspirational thing for you.
It's
It's not
it's
as
not
surface level as on its face.
I don't want to like style an outfit and be like, this is how you supposed. I'm not interested in that. That what fun is
Hmm.
I want people to. I don't know. I want people to personally and with my brains is to just kind of
Yeah.
be more interested in trying things and like getting to know themselves and doing
Hmm.
that in a public, very loud, very bold way. I
Yeah.
think it's the most rewarding thing
Yeah.
that you can do. There's no one like you. Like,
I love that.
so I don't know if I feel like when I like prop up my phone and I make my little videos and I share my thoughts, it's just kind of because I'm like hoping that like you'll see this and this will make you like
Do your own thing.
do your own thing. I do my thing because I do my thing pretty well.
I
I
have
don't know.
my thing on lock. We're
I got
good
my
over
thing on
here.
a lot. I'm not trying to do nobody else's thing. I don't need you trying to do my thing. I want you to go and do your thing. More people need to start doing their own thing. Like
Hmm.
everyone's trying to do the same thing
Yeah.
with the brand, with the business. with the content. Everyone's doing the same thing. So
Yeah.
that's I don't know. Authenticity is it doesn't get any better than that.
One, I'm curious before we truly dive a little deeper into Starfish, how did you get that name?
I knew you were about to ask me that.
Because it's just so, I love it. It's so cool.
Let's think. So Starfish will be 2 at the end of this month.
Okay.
2 years ago, I'm trying to think. I pretty accidental
Hmm.
actually. Pretty like I don't want to say accidental, but like I can't say that I like prepped and planned to be here
Yeah.
as much as people think I did. Maybe in a non-traditional way, but
Hmm.
I made a dress. I posted it on Instagram, posted it on TikTok, and people were like, "Oh, where's the dress from? Where's the dress from?" And around that time, like I kind of was like, I'm someone that has to be creative, and
Hmm.
when I'm not, like I feel like I'm literally suffering. And so I think around that time, I was feeling like that. Like I knew I wanted to do something.
Hmm.
I would just wasn't really sure
What
of
that
what
was.
or yeah, what or how. And so I'm getting all of this like, where is it from? DMs, Instagram, TikTok. And I was like, well, let's just try this. Like, let's just start with this. By no means, I swear to God, by no means did I think it was gonna like turn into like
A
actually having
full,
a brand. Like
yeah.
I was just kind of like, okay, I can make some dresses right fast and sell them and
Yeah.
and that'll be that. Like, you know? So at the time my friends would call me like Star Girl. And that
Okay.
was like my thing. And I'm really big on kind of what we were speaking to earlier, like some things should be left for interpretation. So
Hmm.
I knew I wanted it to have the word star in it,
Hmm.
have some way, but like I didn't want you to hear it and
Hmm.
like know
Exactly what.
exactly what it was. I didn't want to call it like studio or like that's like saying lashes by Zarah. Like I'm not into stuff like that. So, I think I wanted something that was cool. Like I told you, I'm into science, and the starfish can like live with severed limbs, and they
Mhm.
regenerate their
Yeah, they
limbs.
do.
And so my my name means God's flower. My middle name means resurrection. So I thought about a starfish in that way, like it can kind of like bring itself
A
back to life.
rebirth and
It's kind of like me, like the meaning of my name, kind of like life. So it was kind of like I don't know, an accidental like connection with all of the pulling things from all of these little parts
yeah.
of life. So yeah, a starfish. It's a really cool creature.
I'm very into name meanings. And I
Yeah,
know not everybody is. So the fact that you're like, I know exactly what my name means and my middle name and I'm like, oh my gosh. So
yeah. My
yeah.
That was something my parents were really big on.
Yeah. My mom, she did not play. She's like, if I'm gonna name you something, it has to make sense. Like it needs to still
Yeah,
on a deeper level than its
yeah.
base, you know?
As a little kid, you grow up with kind of like my name is not really like easy to pronounce
Hmm.
to the naked eye. After practicing for so long, I guess. So I feel like even in that way, like I've had to learn how to like both the importance of advocating,
Hmm.
so knowing like what I'm advocating for. So it's like this is my name and this is what it means. So it just
Yeah.
like intentionality in
Yeah.
that. So yeah, that's starfish.
I love that.
Yeah.
How are your studies at Parsons intersecting with your work with Starfish, if at all? Like, how is one influencing the other?
Yeah. So I it's so when I look back on like how I make choices, sometimes I
Hmm.
just feel like I don't really know. Like sometimes I can literally like get a download,
Hmm.
And then I'm like, okay, well, let's do it. Like,
Yeah.
I genuinely think that, like, one day I was just like, I should go to fashion school. Like,
Hmm.
it wasn't coming from a place of, I think at that point I had hit 1 year
Okay.
having my brand, and like the growth in that first year alone, I was just like, okay, this is pretty nuts, you know, like,
Yeah.
um, and so I was kind of, I love school. I love to learn. But I also think that school gives my life structure.
Okay.
Um, and so I don't know. I think when I was like looking into school, I can't say that I was like even all the way convinced myself that it was
Yeah.
something that I wanted to do. But I found the program, which is it's called MPS in fashion management, um, but it's a focus in sustainability.
Hmm.
And so I think that kind of like caught my attention because it's not your typical,
Yeah.
you know, it's not typically something that you see when you're looking to take like fashion courses in fashion school in general. Um, so yeah, I was like, okay, I applied, and I got in, and like before that, I had been wanting to move to New York,
Okay.
but just kind of unsure
Like,
about like,
how am I going to
yeah,
get
like
over
what
there?
I'm
Like, what am I doing?
doing, like, you know. Um, and so it just, I don't know, in one way or another, it made sense. Like I said, I feel like, in even looking back to my childhood, I think that I am naturally someone that needs to have a lot of things going on.
Okay.
I know like there are some people who are like, I have so much going on, like I can't focus, I can't. And I just think that's how I grew up. Like I grew up in school, I played AAU sports,
Okay.
I was playing instruments. This is like all up at the
All
end
at once.
of my like, you know, that was just a thing.
Yeah.
Over the summer, I'm in summer camp, but I'm also in like summer intensive classes like at
Hmm.
the same time. So it was never just like fun or play. Like it
Yeah.
was,
Or just
I
focusing
mean,
on one
or
thing.
play. Yeah, focusing on one thing. It's always been pet. So I mean, a pair. So I think that my brain is just naturally wired to operate better in that way.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, let's just see. And because it was a focus in fashion, but in sustainability, it kind of like already spoke to kind of like part of my science brain.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
So
so it
it
kind
was
of,
tying your personal interests and professional, and it was like, this makes sense.
yeah, it just kind of all kind of connected in one
Mhm.
way or another. And I think now it's very different because, like I said, my degree is in health science. So, like, a science degree is very different than like
Yeah.
fine arts or like
Yeah.
it's very different. It's you go home, you read, you come back, you have a test. You go home, you read, come back, you have a test. It's very like cut and dry, black and white in that way. And
Okay.
now, like my program is very like theoretical. Like there's a lot
Yeah.
of
A lot of interpretation
yeah,
and
it's a lot of discussion based learning. So it's definitely been an adjustment in that way because the rigor is different.
Mhm.
It's not testing quizzes. It's like projects. Like I have a
Right.
project every week. I'm presenting something every week. I have like an artistic output every single week. But also in that same breath, my first semester was like we talked about sustainability in every facet. So like technology, what does it mean? You know, in manufacturing, it kind of just analyzes like every touch point of the fashion
Mhm.
industry and how, you know, sustainable practices can be integrated into the program. I mean, not into the program, into the industry in
Into
one way
that. Mhm.
or another.
Sector.
And it's such a big issue. The fashion industry is one of the most, well, it is
Yeah.
the most wasteful industry in the world.
Yeah.
There's so much excess, there's so much waste. And now that I'm kind of like coming up on the end of the program, I think my biggest takeaway is that it's not an easy fix.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not.
and there's no one way to tackle it. And if I am going to be a contributing factor, now that I do have a brand and a business,
Yeah,
if I am going to be a contributing factor to the fashion industry, it's like, what does, practicing sustainability look like for me? It might
right.
not look like how it looks like for every
I
other
love
brand.
that you said that.
Yeah, it's what does it look like for me? So, and there's so many things, and I feel like there are a lot of brands that you might think are like, oh, they're not sustainable, but they probably are like cutting something out.
Gen Z is a little too extremist with some stuff, and we don't understand that things operate in the gray, and it doesn't always have to be like the super green thumb initiative to
Yeah,
qualify as sustainable practices. And so I love that you said that because as someone who is literally in school studying the very thing, if you
yeah,
feel that same way and you're able to comfortably say like, yeah, it's gonna be what makes sense for me. I think people have a very unrealistic expectation of what certain things are supposed to look like, especially if you never had the chance to sit and actually see how big these issues are.
you have to attack it as something, and especially it's almost I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's almost impossible to think that someone with a small brand
Yeah.
um, can have a fully functioning, sustainable business and not have started off with an immense amount of capital. Like it's
Oh
just
no,
not.
it takes money.
It takes money. Like the cool like sustainable stuff that you see, like the big fashion houses, is because they've invested loads and loads and loads of money. There's so much research and development that goes into it.
Mhm.
Like, and I think that's the cool part about my program is just like another sector of fashion that I just didn't even know existed, to be
Yeah.
honest. Um, or even, the amount of waste and just all of these things.
Yeah.
But when we do get to talk to these big brands and these big companies and you hear about like they say we're still trying to figure out, it's almost impossible to, you know,
Yeah, I
expect.
mean, if they have that many resources globally,
Yeah, like
how can we expect a small business? I think is it important to want to hold people accountable to
mhm,
sustainability efforts along with other initiatives that are important for us societally and politically. But at the same time, you have to give grace and also these things can't operate outside of their context.
yeah, like for
Every
me,
person doesn't have the same resources or the same start.
or even the same goals and missions.
The grace I have for a smaller brand versus a larger brand in that instance is different. But also, with that said, we can't then try to reframe and twist for our own narrative to make it make sense.
Exactly. Because then
So,
that's called greenwashing. And that's what we can't do. We can't do that because that's not honest. And it's okay. It is okay because no one's even expecting that from you.
I think it also points to this issue we have of these like hot topic words, like buzzwords,
Hmm.
where we're just throwing them out there.
Hmm.
You don't know the meaning. And
Hmm.
so that is something that I think is an issue across all sectors. But when it comes to fashion, because fashion intersects with pop culture in such a way that other areas really don't. Same like with beauty. Like beauty intersects with pop culture in this way where even if you're not in that space whatsoever, you're not a student of that space, you don't participate, you can have an opinion.
It's really hard occupying a space, but I think that's why I try to. I mean, there will come a time where
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be more, vocal and upfront about certain things. But I kind of just like to just let it speak for itself. If you scroll on the website, it say 100% cotton, 100% cotton. There's
Hmm.
some things that aren't, and that's fine. But I
Right.
think that like
That
I
effort is there.
I have to. I can only do what I can do, and I sustainability for me is being a small batch brand. It's not
Yeah.
making thousands and thousands of
Which
an
that is true. I mean, like you said before, we can't expect smaller brands to do the same things that corporate level
yeah.
brands or houses are able to do. Personally, if I see a smaller brand, honestly, a brand period, but especially smaller brands, not taking that shortcut and actually having 100% real fabric, preferably cotton, if that
Mhm.
makes sense for the product, I'm like, ooh, okay. Now if I was already intrigued just off of face value and aesthetic, but now
Mhm.
I'm able to really see like what's the make of this product. And I think also it comes down to being a smart shopper.
Mhm.
If you are someone who has a value and you put value into those things and that is aligned with what you want to do and how you want to shop, then when you see that, it's like, okay, yeah, now like I have to get this now because it all aligns and it all makes sense. Yeah.
It's tricky. It's really really tricky. It's actually what my thesis is on for my
Really?
yeah
That's dope.
about kind of just like not only do consumers know what they're buying, but do they care?
Hmm.
Um, and do they know what the long term effects of are from consistently suffocating your body in synthetic fabrics? People don't know.
Even
Yeah.
myself, like I have started this year when I work out, I don't wear any. If I already own the set, then I might wear it, but on the consistent basis, I've stopped completely wearing the sets that I used to own, and I only do like a cotton-based
Oh, I have to send you my
sports
survey
bra.
then. I might have to
Yeah,
interview
send it. Yeah.
for my thesis actually.
I wear a cotton-based sports bra, and I wear all sweatpants that are also cotton because obviously we all know if you sweat, cotton is the best fabric to be able to breathe, but also gather
Yeah.
the sweat. When you're in polyester and nylon, especially as women, I think
Okay,
all
and
of
there,
these
that's what I
things
was about to say.
intersect so crazily. It's wild when you really pay attention. But as women,
That's what I was about to say. How can I be a brand that has
yeah,
women at the forefront, but
no.
the
Because
product that I'm making harm them?
I wanted to mention that because I did know that your program was around sustainability, and I was
Mm.
just curious how the two intersected. Because I also saw on the website you sell samples at any point in the year, which I thought was very cool because we do know the sample sale has become very popular, and I think people who aren't familiar with what sample sales were before it was like this little trendy thing to do in New York and have a line outside the door it had a purpose.
Yeah,
And so
because
I
those
think,
aren't real sample sales. People
yeah,
don't know, but
yeah,
that's not what a
that's not
sample.
how it's supposed to be.
Mhm.
And so I thought it was cool going, obviously preparing for the interview, like making sure I was like caught up on my stuff. And I'm like,
Mhm.
wait, she sells sell samples, period.
Period.
And I think that's dope because again, it's reducing the waste in real time
Yep.
because realistically, certain people, I don't care about that little bit of
Yeah.
whatever was wrong. Like I'll take it, you know?
And all of the stuff on there is literally like it's not in its original packaging anymore. And like
Mhm.
for the sake of like, I always try to put I worked in retail for a really really long time, and I am chronic shopper. Um,
Yeah.
not as much anymore now that I have a brand. I feel like
Yeah.
burden energy, but I feel like I always put myself in the shoes of the consumer, and
Hmm.
the smallest things that kind of could turn somebody off. So like something not being in its original packaging can kind of like turn you off. And so
Yeah.
I I try not to sell those things, or it'll be like something that like I don't know, we took out the package just to lay it on the couch to take a picture of it, and then so I don't know.
Yeah.
As I've gone through the program, I've been trying to think about like what does sustainability look like for me? What is my contribution? And
Yeah.
right now, it's prioritizing small batches. The sample sale, I want that to just kind of like live on the site. And when I can, if the product permits,
Hmm.
I'm gonna use natural fibers as much as I can.
I don't think people realize how expensive it is to do that.
It's high.
That is expensive, y'all, to do
It's
that.
expensive,
It is expensive.
especially when
So,
it's small batch.
yeah,
Like,
that too. I think people don't understand how we got to fast fashion is because the more you make, the
the
lower the
cheap.
price. Any manufacturer you go to, the less product, the higher the cost. So if you are somebody who's like, well, I just want to go the cheapest way I can, and you now got 500 pieces, and it's like, I gotta sell 500 pieces. It's a whole thing. It's a snowball effect. So it's like, it's predatory.
Yeah,
And the best we can do as the consumer, especially if you're a consumer who really doesn't have any awareness to the ways these industries work, even in a little bit, because I'm not an expert.
no,
I will not. sit up
Right.
here and try to act like I am an expert in any of this. But if my little bit of knowledge lets me know just a little bit, and I
Yeah.
can make an informed decision, I think that's what it boils down to too. And yeah, I think you mentioned that earlier in our conversation. Being an informed consumer and knowing what you are participating in, what you're purchasing, what you're supporting. And if it does or doesn't align with your values, just know what you're doing and why you're doing it. In closing, what is next for Starfish Market? If you can share.
Um, so new stuff for summer, which is fun,
Oh,
cool. I
so that'll be
really,
soon?
yes,
Okay.
that'll be probably like the end of this month.
Okay.
Um, so that'll be soon. I really want to get into um experiences.
Hmm.
I want to somehow, some way start having more, you know, IRL. That's the thing.
Community
Um,
based, like,
yeah, and the only
yeah.
reason that I haven't is because I don't know, I'm a very intentional person.
Hmm.
And a party is cute, but it's just like, what do we leave here with that? Like,
Hmm.
I want to make money just as much as the next girl, but I don't know. I just want my brand to be bigger than that, and I want you to be able to walk away with something other than a product. So I've been ideating how, like, what that looks like
Hmm.
as far as starfish experiences. Obviously, I will be selling things because
Right. I mean, yeah,
you got to pay the bills.
you're here
But
because I have a business. So,
exactly, it's a business. But I think just something else, just something else. We need something else.
hmm.
So that is in the near future. I feel like that'll be like towards the end of summer, leading into the fall, and then hopefully like something that I can. Um, my goal is to kind of turn it into something that I'm collaborating with other people to kind of put
Okay.
on. So like other cool brands, other cool artists, cool. It doesn't even have to be fashion related. Just like I don't know, cool people in general.
Hmm.
Because again, like I said, I feel like people don't know how to be inspired, and I think I have built an amazing network of people that do all sorts of cool things. So I kind of am just figuring out like how I want to use my brand um, and give the people that have supported me and been following along with me an experience outside of just a transactional thing
I
with the
see.
brand and more of an experience and exposure to the
Hmm.
other cool people that I know and the other cool brands that I know and the cool artists that I know and the things that inspire me. So
Hmm.
that's really important for me.
It's like a
Um,
chance to step into Starfish as a its own world.
As a world,
Yeah.
yes, as a world. What else? I always get like questions about if I'm gonna ever do men's clothes. We'll see. That might be coming up.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm very this is the type B part of me. Like I feel like I just like wake up and I'd be like, let's do this.
Hmm.
But it's cool. I think my biggest goal for the rest of this year is scaling and getting more consistent
Hmm.
in one way or another. I feel like in terms of like content, I want to be more consistent in that way, or just occupying space on the internet. I want to find a different way to do that. I want it to be more than like just the products. Like
Yeah.
I'm that's really what my goal is. I'm just kind of working towards. I want somebody to follow the page that and they never buy anything ever. Like you just follow it because you really like
It's
it over
just like
here.
cool over
And
here.
this is cool. Like
Yeah.
so, just still trying to figure out what that looks like. I don't know. I'd be on the internet, but I don't really like be on the internet like
Yeah.
how people think I am. So
Yeah. But I think that's a good thing because when you consume too much, you start to make what you just consumed. And so
yeah,
if a brand from a brand perspective, how you guys show up right now is very organic. I think that it's apparent that it's a very organic creative process. And so it's like I don't think it would really make sense if you were like, oh, every trending sound we're on that. And it's like
I'm not doing that.
That's not really,
I hate
I
it.
don't think that the viewer, even if you aren't a consumer yet, you're just viewing the content from the page. I don't think that that is the person that you're attracting. I don't think that the consumer you're attracting wants that either. So it's like everything has to make sense for what you're creating and the people who are going to actually be consuming it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're very observant. I love that. I'm glad. I'm glad that it translates. I always wonder. It's actually one of the things that I think about the most. Like,
Yeah.
is the stuff that I'm making. Like, I don't know if I've arrived just yet at like, and that'll come with growth. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know
In
if
the interim, have you arrived at least here to then get to,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Or like someone being able to be like, oh, that's from Starfish. Like
Mhm.
that's what I'm working
Yeah. And I
on.
think as time continues and you continue to create, and also as the consumer continues to share their pieces and go outside, and the whole, it starts to have its own
But
thing,
yeah.
it will translate. But it was lovely talking to you. I really appreciate you coming
You
on,
too. This was
and
great.
we'll
Thanks for
have to
thinking
stay
of me.
connected.
Yes, we'll have to check in.
Yes.